Chechnya. January 2000. A mountain road going nowhere good. 22 below zero. The kind of cold that doesn't just freeze you, it punishes you. Gets into the joints, stays there. Andrei Sobolyov stands over an open zinc coffin. The lid is gone, bent back in the snow, edges sharp enough to open a throat. Inside, a body. Private First Class Sanya Klimov, 19 years old, but this isn't a body anymore. This is what's left after someone decided a dead boy was more useful as a container. The chest has been cut open. Ribs sawed apart and pulled wide, like someone threw open a pair of cabinet doors. No heart, no lungs, no liver. Instead, bricks, 40 of them, white, compressed, wrapped in oily plastic film. The chest cavity packed full, to the rim. The smell reaches him before anything else does. Sweet, chemical, suffocating. He knows that smell. Heroin. They gutted him, stuffed him, sewed him back up. And whoever did it took the time to fold his hands neatly across his chest. Almost respectful. The crude black thread running across his abdomen says otherwise. Sobolyov stares, doesn't blink. Pulse, 52. Steady. He wants to vomit. Can't. He wants to scream. Can't. He needs to feel something. There's nothing there. Just cold. The same cold that moved into his chest 3 years ago and never left. The radio on his hip crackles. A voice. Calm. The way you'd confirm a food delivery. Sobolyov, stay where you are. We're already on our way. He raises his head, scans the road. Hey, 300 meters down, a gorge. A frozen river at the bottom, dirty white. 200 meters up, birch trees stripped to the bone. Behind him, engines. Ahead, engines. Both directions. Closing in, a trap. He lifts the AKS off his shoulder. The metal burns through his glove. 22 below, and the rifle feels like a slab of ice. Safety off. Click. He looks down at Sanya one last time and whispers, "I'm sorry." Then he pulls out his lighter. If you want to know how one soldier declared war on the people wearing his own uniform, subscribe, hit the bell, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's go. What do you do when your brother's coffin is a drug shipment? When the men who were supposed to protect you are the ones selling the dead? When your only two choices are go along with it or burn everything down? And how much is a soldier actually worth in a country where generals do business with the men who killed him? Mozdok, Russian military base, 62 hours earlier. The barrack smells like piss, cheap tobacco, and rotten foot wraps. It's a smell that gets into your clothes and stays there long after you leave, if you leave. Andrei Sobolyov sits on his bunk, cleaning his AKS. 37th time. His hands don't need him anymore. They just do it. Take it apart. Put it back together. 32 seconds. Perfect every time. Outside, February. Mud. Black and fat and ankle deep. The Mil Mi-24 helicopters land every 20 minutes, rotors chopping the air, whump, 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 a sound that gets inside your skull and sets up camp. Sobolyov is 26 years old. He looks 45. 3 years in a reconnaissance company. 11 raids into the mountains. 17 confirmed kills, unconfirmed. He stopped counting somewhere around the 8th month. There's shrapnel in his left shoulder, pulled out in a field hospital, but it clipped a nerve on the way. The arm works. At night, it aches, like it belongs to a stranger. Sometimes the fingers curl shut on their own while he sleeps. Muscle memory, strangling ghosts. His face is wine-cracked leather. Lips split at the corners, old blood dried in the creases. His eyes? Not gray. Like a dead fish left on Moscow ice. Cloudy. They don't reflect anything back. The men call him Shram, Scar, not because of anything on his face, because of the way he looks at you, like you're already dead and just haven't fallen over yet. On the bunk next to him, Private Makarov is snoring. 20 years old. Showed up 2 months ago. Cries at night, quiet, face buried in the pillow, so nobody hears. Grins all day like nothing happened. 3 days ago, a mine went off 20 meters from him. Concussion. His left ear has been leaking fluid ever since. He doesn't notice. Just wipes it when it drips onto his collar. Shram watches him. 1 more month. Maybe 2. Then, a zinc box. He looks away. The door flies open. Warrant Officer Kovalyov. Face like raw meat. Fresh drunk, not last night's, this morning's. Sobolyov. Commanding officer. Now. Shram stands. His jacket smells like his own sweat and someone else's, and it doesn't matter whose. He puts it on and goes. The corridor's long and the bulbs flicker. The generator's been dying for weeks and nobody's fixed it. On the bare concrete wall, someone wrote in black marker, "Chechnya is hell. Mozdok is the waiting room. Moscow forgot we exist." He's read it 100 times. Doesn't get less true. Major Klebnikov's office is a plywood box with a glossy portrait of Shoigu on the wall and a tea-stained map of Chechnya that's older than half the soldiers on base. Bottle of cheap vodka on the desk. 2 glasses, 1 full, 1 empty. He doesn't offer. Klebnikov is 43, gut straining against his belt, collar rubbing a raw red ring around his neck, like a rope mark. His eyes move constantly, at the wall, the floor, the window, anywhere but Shram's face. Sobolyov. You're done tomorrow? That's correct. 1 last job. Simple one. He nods at the map. The Mozdok-Vladikavkaz Highway. 3 checkpoints marked in red marker. Cargo 300, Private First Class Klimov. You remember him? Shram remembers. Sanya Klimov. Call sign. Kid. 19 years old. Baby face. Couldn't grow a beard to save his life. Laughed constantly. Loud and dumb and contagious. The kind of laugh that made you feel stupid for not joining in. He hit a tripwire mine outside Shali. Anti-tank. TM-62. A miracle there was anything left to send home. Shram held his hand for the last 2 minutes. Sanya stared up at the sky, lips moving, praying or saying goodbye, impossible to tell which. Then, his pupils went wide and flat and stayed that way. That was it. I remember him. Good. The coffin goes home to Ryazan. You escort it to Mozdok, hand it off to the military commissariat. Convoy. You and a driver, Private Durkin. 1 UAZ. No escort. Questions? Schramm says nothing, but he has questions. Why one vehicle? Why no armor? Why won't this man look me in the eye? Klebnikov pours himself a glass, drinks it, sets the glass down hard, crack like a gunshot. Because those are the orders from above. Don't ask more than that, Sobolyov. You deliver, you're free. Documents are clean. 5,000 ruble bonus. You don't deliver. He doesn't finish the sentence. Dismissed. Schramm walks out. Midnight. The barracks breathes around him in slow, uneven rhythms. Schramm lies on his back and stares at the ceiling, concrete, cracks spreading through it like veins. One bare bulb swinging in the draft from under the door. Someone snoring. Someone grinding their teeth down to nothing. Someone whispering, "Mama, Mama, please," through a dream they won't remember in the morning. He closes his eyes. He sees Sanya, lying on the road. Everything below the waist just gone. Bone and shredded fabric. But his face is calm, looking up. Schramm, I'm cold. You're staying, right? Schramm opens his eyes. His heart is hammering. 112 beats a minute, sheets soaked through. His hands are shaking. He drives his fingernails into his palms. The pain is clean and immediate. An anchor, after a minute, 68 beats. Breathing even, don't think. Sleep. He doesn't sleep. Morning. Parade ground. 7:14. The Zinc coffin sits beside the UAZ, matte gray. A tag, wired to the handle. Klimov S.A., born 1980. Cargo 300. Nothing personal. Just a lot number. Schramm walks over and presses his palm flat against the metal. Cold, even through the glove. He pushes gently. Inside, the weight shifts. A body. Sanya, I'll get you home. I swear it. Private Durkin stands nearby, burning through his third cigarette in a row. 20 years old. Narrow shoulders. Hands that won't stay still. Hey, Schramm. It's true, right? That the fighters leave you alone if you're escorting a cargo 300? Schramm checks his magazine. 30 rounds. 2 more on his vest. Fairy tales. They hit everyone. Durkin goes pale. Ash falls on his boot. He doesn't notice. Schramm watches him, a scared kid. Weak. Why him specifically? Doesn't matter. Departure. 9:12. The UAZ rolls past the gate, and the barrier drops behind them. A clang like a guillotine closing. The road is destroyed. Potholes the size of tank hatches. Burned out vehicle shells rusting along the shoulder. Nobody clears them. Why bother? There'll be fresh ones by the weekend. Durkin drives with his knuckles white on the wheel. Schramm watches the window, scanning. Left, open field, stripped bare. Right. A tree line, maybe 200 meters to the mountains. The mountains are gray. Not beautiful. Like ash, scooped up and piled into shapes. The sky sits low and heavy. No snow falling, but the air tastes like metal at the back of the throat. First checkpoint, 11:29, a BTR-80, sandbag wall, 3 federal soldiers in body armor. Faces raw from the wind. Eyes that are either sleep-deprived or alcohol-clouded. Probably both. Sase, the senior man, a warrant officer with a scar running the full width of his cheek, comes to the window and knocks with his rifle stock. Documents. Durkin hands them over. The paper shakes in his grip. The warrant officer reads, looks in the back, sees the Zinc. He crosses himself, fast, automatic, a habit rather than a prayer. God rest him. Go ahead. The barrier rises. Schramm looks back. The warrant officer has his radio out. He's turned away, lips moving, reporting. Pulse, 58, rising. Schramm turns to Durkin. Faster. What? Gas. Right now. Durkin doesn't understand, but he does it. The UAZ accelerates. The engine snarls. In the mirror, the checkpoint disappears around the bend. But Schramm knows we're in the system now. Someone's tracking us. Durkin glances over. Schramm, what happened back there? Schramm says nothing. His hand finds the rifle. Ahead, a bend in the road. Behind the bend, too much of it. Something's wrong. The road coils into a switchback. Left side, Mara, drop 50 meters straight down to a frozen river, dirty white at the bottom. Right side, a rock face with edges like broken teeth. Durkin says he needs to stop. Nature calls. Schramm nods. The UAZ pulls over. Durkin climbs out, walks to the bushes. The long, relieved exhale of a man who's been holding it for an hour. Schramm stays in the cab. Lights a cigarette. Bailamore, cheap. Burns the throat like acid going down. Watches the mirror. Empty road. But something is scraping at the inside of his skull. The thing that kept him alive through 37 ambushes. Something is wrong. He gets out, walks around to the back, opens the cargo door. The coffin is there, straps tight. Everything in order. Schramm puts his hand flat on the metal, shoves. It moves too easily. An adult male, 70, maybe 80 kilograms. The zinc casing, another 20 on top of that. Close to 100 kilograms total. This thing moves like it's half empty. Pulse, 74. Climbing fast. He shoves again. The coffin slides across the cargo floor, a long metallic scrape that sets his teeth on edge. Durkin comes back, zipping up. What are you doing? Is there a crowbar? Under the seat? Yeah, but why? You can't open that, it's sealed. They'll court-martial you for... Where is it? Durkin steps in front of him. Schramm, this is a sealed military cargo. You don't just... Schramm looks at him. One look. Durkin steps aside. Schramm finds the crowbar under the seat, comes back, wedges it under the lid's edge, leans into it. The metal scream, a high scraping wail, and the weld cracks. He leans harder, cracks again. The lid tears free and hits the snow with a flat, heavy sound. Schramm looks inside. His breathing stops. The body is there. Sanya Klimov. Waxy face, eyes closed. Lips the color of a bruise. Hands folded carefully on his chest. Someone arranged them that way. Took the time to do it right. But the chest is open. Ribs sawed through and pulled apart, like someone threw open a pair of heavy doors. Inside, nothing that should be there. No heart, no lungs, no liver. Just bricks. 40 of them. White, compressed, wrapped in oily film. The chest cavity packed full, to the very rim. The abdomen sewn shut with coarse black thread, the kind you'd use to close a grain sack. Not a person. The smell hits him all at once. Sweet, suffocating, chemical. 40 kilograms of heroin. Schramm stands there, doesn't move. Pulse, 0. Then 140 and climbing. A high ringing fills his ears, the kind that comes after a blast, after the shockwave has already passed through and left its mark on the way out. His hands close into fists. The crowbar drops into the snow. Something hot and thick rises in his throat. He takes 3 steps away from the UAZ and vomits. Bile and water. Nothing solid. His stomach tries to turn itself inside out. Once, twice, 3 times. His eyes are running. He's not sure if that's something else. He's never sure about that. He wipes his mouth. His hand is shaking. Durkin stands frozen, staring into the coffin, mouth open. Oh God. Schramm straightens up, turns around, walks back to the coffin, looks at Sanya, at his face, quiet, dead, peaceful in the way that only the dead ever manage, at his chest, split open and filled with product like a storage unit. They took a dead kid, gutted him, packed him with heroin, sewed him back up, and they're running him through checkpoints under the cover of Cargo 300, under the cover of a hero's burial. Deep inside Schramm, somewhere he'd assumed had been dead for years, something tears loose, not a crack, a full tear, like a tendon snapping, clean and total and permanent. Pulse, 152. Breath coming in short, hard pulls. He reaches in, takes 1 brick, peels back the film. Powder. White. Pure. He makes a fist. It falls through his fingers. He looks at Sanya. I'll burn every last one of them. The radio crackles. He pulls it off his belt. A voice, pleasant, unhurried, the way you'd confirm a taxi booking. Sobolyov, stay where you are. We're already on our way. Durkin grabs his arm. Schramm, what do we do? They're going to kill us. Schramm looks at the road. Behind them, a bend. Ahead, a bend. Both directions covered. He keys the radio. I'm not delivering your cargo. Then, the same calm voice. You have no idea what you've walked into. I do. You're dead men. He drops the radio in the snow. Looks at Durkin. Get in the UAZ. Where are we even? Move. The engine turns over. Then, from both directions at once, the sound of heavy diesel. 2 BTR-80s come around the rear bend. Federal markings. 60 kilometers an hour and still accelerating. 800 meters back. Closing. Around the front bend, a third BTR. Pincers. Durkin sees them in the mirror. His voice cracks completely. Schramm. Schramm is already out of the cab. He grabs the jerry can from the back and starts pouring. Over the coffin, over the cargo floor, over everything he can reach. Durkin jumps out after him. Are you out of your mind? That's... Schramm grabs him by the collar and shoves him hard toward the tree line. Run! Into the woods! Go! What about you? The BTRs, 400 meters, and still coming. Schramm flicks the lighter open. Looks at Sonia one last time. I'm sorry we couldn't do this differently, kid. He drops the flame. The fuel catches. A wall of heat slaps him back, scorching his eyebrows. The freezing air behind him and the fire in front, making the world feel like it's splitting down the middle. The zinc melts. The body burns. The heroin burns. 40 million rubles going up in a black, oily column that you could see from 20 kilometers away. Maybe more. Schramm stands there and watches. The fire fills his eyes. He doesn't blink. The BTRs stop at 100 meters. Hatches open. Men pour out. 8 of them. Federal uniforms. Body armor. AK-74s. The commander climbs out last, a major. Wide through the shoulders, hard-faced. He looks at the burning UAZ. He goes completely still. Then, put it out! What in the hell are you? 3 soldiers run at it with extinguishers. Too late. The coffin is a black skeleton. The body is ash. The heroin is a smell in the air that'll linger for hours. The major stands there and watches it happen. His face goes white, then red. The veins in his neck rise like cables under tension. He turns to face the tree line and screams into it, just screams, voice cracking apart. Sobolyov! You hear me? I will bury you alive! He empties a full magazine into the sky. Then another click. Empty. He throws the rifle into the snow, turns to his men, breathing hard through his nose. Find him, both of them. Sweep the entire tree line. All of you. Go. 8 men fan out and walk into the forest. 1:52 in the afternoon. Schramm is on his stomach in the snow. 120 meters from the road, behind a fallen trunk, breathing through his nose, slow. The vapor barely visible, a KS up, stock against his shoulder, sights on the nearest soldier, 80 meters, no wind, pulse, 68, steady, his hands are shaking, he grips the rifle tighter, it doesn't help. Not now. Not right now. He closes his eyes, breathes. Once, twice. He sees Sanya, split open, packed full. His eyes open on their own. The shaking gets worse. The nearest soldier, 60 meters now, walks straight toward him. Young, mid-20s, unshaved, holding his rifle correctly. Not a rookie. 50 meters, 40, Shram aims. Crosshair on the chest, finger on the trigger, hands shaking, sight drifting. Come on. 30 meters. The soldier stops, listens, looks at his partner, opens his mouth. Nothing. Shram fires. 3-round burst. First shot misses. Tree to the left. Second, shoulder. The soldier staggers sideways. Third, neck. He drops. Both hands go to his throat automatically, uselessly. The blood doesn't wait. It pumps out in hard, rapid arcs, each one in time with his pulse, each one a little weaker, steam rising off the snow where it lands. 10 seconds. The second soldier, 20 meters away, sees it happen. Contact! He raises his rifle and fires. A burst. Rounds chew into the trunk directly in front of Shram's face. Bark explodes. Splinters rake across his cheek. Shram rolls right, hard, comes up behind a snowbank. Another burst. Snow jumps in a line toward him. He rises, aims, still shaking. Fires, misses. The soldier sprints for a tree and gets behind it. 30 meters between them, neither moving. Shram forces his breathing down. 1, 2, 3. He thinks about the drift in his hands, adjusts for it. He thinks about the soldier's cover, right side of the tree. He moves 4 meters left without making a sound. The soldier leans out to the right, where Shram was, and fires. Shram fires at the same moment. 2 rounds, back of the skull. The soldier drops without a sound. Shram stays down, looks at his hands, still shaking. He pins them between his knees and squeezes until it hurts. It passes. 2 down. 6 left. Distant shouting. Over here. 2 of ours are down. Where's the shooter? I don't know. Somewhere. Shram tracks the voices. Builds a picture. 3 on the left. Roughly 100 meters. 2 on the right, further back. 1. Unknown. Silent. Dark. They're trying to surround me. He crawls to the nearest body. Takes 3 magazines off the vest, a grenade, RGD-5. The soldier has a dog tag. The name reads Sidorov, P.A. Shram looks at his face. Young. 23 at most. Could have been someone's kid brother. Don't move. He takes the grenade and crawls. The 2 soldiers on the left are moving through the trees together. 10 meters between them. Careful. Rifles up. Shram watches from behind a cluster of birch trunks. He pulls the pin, counts 3 seconds, throws. The grenade drops between them. One of them sees it. His mouth opens. Great! The blast lifts snow and dirt in a wide, flat cone. The first soldier folds at the waist and sits down in the snow and tries to hold himself together. He can't. The second one gets thrown into a tree trunk and slides down it and doesn't get up. Schramm is already moving. 3 more come from the left. Fast. Firing on the run. Rounds crack past his head, close enough to feel the pressure change. One catches him in the left side. He doesn't register it yet. Just a hard punch below the ribs. He keeps running. Behind a wide oak, back against the bark. He stops. Reaches down. His hand comes away red. There it is. A burning lance through his left side, below the armpit. Not a graze. A hole. He presses his palm flat against it. The pain arrives properly now, white and nauseating and filling his entire chest cavity. He breathes, tests it. If the lung was punctured, he'd know by now. He'd be drowning from the inside. He can still breathe. Pain but air between the ribs. Bullet still inside. He tears a strip from the bottom of his shirt, packs it against the wound with one hand, ties it off with his teeth and his good hand. It'll hold for maybe 20 minutes. 20 minutes is enough. He comes around the oak low and fast. The 3 soldiers are spread out, one directly ahead, one to the left, one to the right, all scanning for him. He takes the one on the right first, shooting up from the ground at an angle they're not watching. 2 rounds to the chest. The body armor holds. The soldier stumbles backward. 3rd round, throat. Down. The other 2 spin and open up. Rounds tear through the snow where he was. He's already moved, rolled left, new angle, new cover. The soldier on the left exposes his flank for half a second. Schramm takes it. 1 shot. Down. The last one runs. Straight back toward the major's position. Schramm lets him go. He leans against a tree and breathes. The rag is already soaked through, dark red and getting darker. Pulse, 116. The major, 4 left. No grenades. He counts his remaining rounds. 11. Make them count. A crunch of snow. Close. Very close. He spins. Durkin, standing 3 meters away, a PM pistol in both hands, aimed at Schramm's chest, the fear's completely gone from his face. It was never there, just a costume he'd been wearing. He smiles, easy, relaxed. Sorry, Schramm. He fires. The round hits Schramm in the left side, same side, just lower. His legs buckle. He goes down on one knee. The rifle drops. He looks up at Durkin, blood filling his mouth, the iron taste of it. Sanya. Klimov. Durkin shrugs. An actual shrug. Like the name is background noise. A corpse. There are thousands of them. What's the difference? Deep inside Schramm, the last thing that was still human goes dark. Not in grief. In total, absolute clarity. Durkin takes 2 steps forward. Hey. Raises the pistol. Sleep, Schramm. Schramm's right hand moves. The knife on his shin has been there the whole time. Out of the sheath in one motion. Released. The blade turns once in the air, buries itself in Durkin's throat, to the hilt. Durkin drops the pistol. Both hands go to his neck. His eyes go wide, not with pain, with pure animal surprise. The sound he makes isn't a scream. It's lower, wetter. He falls to his knees, looks at Schramm, still surprised, falls onto his side. His legs move twice, slow, purposeless. And then they stop. The forest goes quiet. Schramm is on his back in the snow, looking up through bare birch branches at a gray sky. Snow begins to fall, large, slow flakes drifting down, like they have nowhere important to be. He presses both hands against his side. The blood wells up warm between his fingers, then immediately starts cooling. The cold takes everything eventually. This is where I die. On my back in the snow, alone, like all the rest of them. Then a voice, far off, getting closer. Sobolyov, where are you? He turns his head. Warrant Officer Kovalyov comes out of the trees at a run. When he sees Schramm, he drops to his knees, tears his own shirt open, and presses it hard against the wound. Stay with me. Don't close your eyes. Schramm looks at him. Why are you here? Shut up. Save your energy. Why? Kovalyov presses harder. His jaw is tight. My son. Cargo 300, 2 years ago. The coffin came home light. I didn't understand it then. He looks at Schramm. I understand it now. He grabs his radio. This is Kovalyov. I need a medical evacuation at my position. Grid reference. He looks around at the trees. God, where the hell are we? Schramm closes his eyes. Sonya, I burned it. They didn't get him. You did right. All of them. I know. In the distance, rotors. Faint at first, getting louder. Military hospital. Mozdok. 3 days later, white ceiling. One bare bulb. The smell of bleach and old blood and something underneath both of those that no amount of cleaning ever fully removes. Schramm opens his eyes. A drip line runs into his arm. His left side is wrapped tight. He feels the pressure before he feels the pain, and then the pain arrives and makes up for lost time. He tries to sit up. His body says no. The doctor comes in. A woman around 50. The kind of face that's been tired for so long, it stopped being an expression and became just her face. Stay down. He stays down. How long was I out? 3 days. The bullet was lodged against a rib. We got it. You lost close to 2 liters of blood. You're alive by coincidence, not design. She checks the drip line. Doesn't look at him directly. They're looking for you. Who? General Kravtsov. Orders to detain on site. Murder of FSB officers. Destruction of military cargo. Desertion. Kovalyov. Arrested. Aiding and abetting. Schramm's hands tighten around the mattress edge. When do they come for me? Tomorrow. Could be tonight. She's quiet for a moment. Can you walk? I'll find out. The window at the end of the corridor doesn't lock. The guard at the main entrance rotates at midnight. 5-minute gap. Nobody there. Schramm looks at her. Why are you telling me this? She turns for the door. My husband, Lieutenant Colonel, died in Grozny. The coffin came home light. The door closes behind her. Midnight. The ward breathes around him. Slow, uneven, medicated rhythms. Schramm sits on the edge of the bunk, dressed. The stained uniform is all there is. It'll have to do. He stands. The room tilts. He puts one hand on the wall. Move. The corridor's empty and flickering. The window at the far end is cracked open an inch, cold air reaching in through the gap. He slides it up, looks down, first floor, 3 meters, hangs from the sill, drops. The landing drives the pain up through him like a steel rod. He bites through his lip, falls to one knee in the snow, cold and immediate under both hands, up, walking. The base is dark, floodlights off. Schramm moves along the wall, shadow to shadow. Ahead, the headquarters building. 3 stories. Lights burning on the top floor. Kravtsov's office. He's there. The sentry by the east wall is sleeping standing up, rifle propped against the brickwork beside him. Was sleeping. The rifle is in Schramm's hands now. A K-74, 1 magazine, A. He walks to the building. Stairwell, up, 3rd floor. Each step costs something real. By the second landing, he's breathing through clenched teeth, one hand on the wall, the bandage already warm and wet again. The corridor. At the far end, a door. A small metal placard, Major General Kravtsov, OI. Schramm stops in front of it, voices inside, 2 of them. He puts his ear to the wood. Kravtsov's voice. The cargo is destroyed. Bespalov is dead. 7 men down. Sobolyov is in the hospital. He'll be dealt with tomorrow. A second voice. Older. Raspy. The voice of a man who's been giving orders for so long, he's forgotten what a question sounds like. That's not good enough. That shipment was 40 million. We owe Khattab a delivery. This needs to be made right. I know. The next cargo, 1 week out, Private Makarov, concussion injury already on record. He'll die of complications. The box is already prepared. Good. But Sobolyov is still a loose end. Even Deddy's a problem. Too many people saw too much. The warrant officer, the doctor, anyone he spoke to, all of it. Clean. Understood. Schramm stands in the corridor. Makarov. The kid who cries quietly into his pillow at night so nobody hears him. Who grins all day like nothing happened. They're going to gut him, stuff him, ship him home in a box with his name on a tag. And after Makarov, someone else. And after that, someone else. Because the system is older than any name inside it. And it will keep finding bodies. And it will keep opening them up. And it will keep filling them with product and sewing them shut and sending them home until someone makes it stop. Schramm kicks the door open. Kravtsov is behind his desk. A man in civilian clothes sits across from him. 50s, heavy, The comfortable fat of a man who's spent decades behind desks, making decisions other people die for. Both of them flinch hard. Kravtsov's hand goes for the pistol on the desk. Schramm shoots him in the hand. Kravtsov screams and goes sideways out of his chair. The civilian stands up fast, hands in the air. "Don't shoot! Schramm shoots him in the head. He sits back down, stays there. Kravtsov is on the floor, gripping his hand, blood spreading across the parquet in a dark fan. He looks up at Schramm. "Sobolyov, you don't understand what you're..." "Makarov, cancel it." "What?" "The next shipment. Cancel it right now." Kravtsov laughs. It comes out wet and bloody. "Ush, or what? You'll kill me? Go ahead. Someone else is in this chair by morning. The system doesn't care about either one of us, Sobolyov. It never did." Schramm looks at him for a long moment. "Maybe. But you'll be dead before morning either way." Kravtsov goes quiet. Then, flatly, "What do you want?" "Makarov lives. Kovalyov is released today. The doctor isn't touched. If any one of them gets so much as a cold, this goes to Moscow." He reaches into his jacket, pulls out a small recorder, sets it on the desk between them. Khattab, the heroin, the coffins, 12 shipments, names, dates, and amounts. I've had it running since the corridor. Kravtsov stares at the recorder. His face does something complicated and goes still. "You..." "Copies exist. If I disappear, Kovalyov sends his..." "If Kovalyov disappears, the doctor sends hers. If she disappears, 10 more people send theirs in 10 different cities on the same day." Schramm leans forward, gets close enough to smell the fear coming off him. "You'll spend the rest of your life not knowing which of your phone calls is being recorded, not knowing which of your own men is already talking, not knowing whether today is the day it lands on a desk in Moscow." He straightens up. "That's your life now. Live in it." He turns and walks to the door. Kravtsov speaks to his back. Quiet, almost calm. "Sobolyov, you know this changes nothing. Men like me don't disappear. We adapt. There will be other shipments, other names on other boxes. You can't stop it." Schramm stop. Doesn't turn around. Maybe not. A pause. Aye, but Sanya Klimov isn't a lot number anymore. He's a person. And someone remembers that. He opens the door and walks out. The Chechen border. 2 weeks later, Schramm walks along the road's edge, on foot, alone. The uniform is long past ruined. The wound has closed, but the skin underneath the bandage is still tight and wrong. Every fifth step it reminds him it's there. The pack on his shoulder, a recorder, documents, a rifle. The sky is the color of old concrete. No snow, just cold. He stops, turns around. Behind him, empty road in both directions. Ahead, the same. He reaches into his jacket, a photograph. Sanya Klimov, smiling, young, the kind of young that doesn't know yet what's coming. Schramm looks at it, and he waits for something to arrive, some relief. Some warmth, the feeling that the thing was worth what it cost. Nothing comes, just the cold. Same as always. He puts the photograph back, pulls his collar up, walks. No destination. No one waiting.